Alright, hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Slcmof, and I'm back again with another video, and in this one I want to talk about Batman the Telltale Series, and pretty much all the news and information that we know for the game itself. We know that it's coming out in August, we're getting it on disc in September, so if you don't know about these things, or just any general information about the game I want to talk about, because we did get a press release yesterday, we saw the box art and things like that. I want to talk about all of these things, and otherwise the general idea of the video is one in which you can share to a friend that is interested in Batman, interested in Telltale games, or any combination of the two, and they are, not following the game as much as a lot of my subscribers are that are probably watching this video. Then you can share that with them, and hopefully they can get the news and information that they need for the game, because the reality of it is that the game is on the horizon. It's right here, right? In a few weeks, we're getting the first episode of the game. Next week, we're getting a trailer. Next week, also, at San Diego Comic-Con, you can crowd play the game. So, the game's here, you know what I mean? So it's about that time when we start getting into the nitty-gritty details of the game itself, because it really is right here. So with that being said, let's go and jump right into it and talk about the stuff that we learned yesterday in a minor, albeit a minor press release that we got for Batman the Telltale Series. And essentially what you can see here is the box art, and I'll try to put it on the screen. And I love this box art. You guys know that I'm not a huge fan of like the Batman v Superman Bat logo, not a huge fan of the Dark Knight Returns. I don't know what it is about it. It's the bat signal's too wide or fat. I don't know. Anyway, you get the point. The Bat logo more than the Bat signal. But anyway, I don't really, like those designs as much. I've always liked the Arkham designs, for example. I like a lot of the ones in the comics as well. But as for this one, I really, really enjoy this one. I mean, this has to be probably one of my favorites that I've seen in quite a long time. So I was quite pleased. We're one taking this, so I would have cut that burp out right there. But anyway, I'm quite pleased with what I've seen thus far from the Bat logo. And you can also see in the box art in particular, the Bat logo is kind of comprised of the Gotham skyline, which I think is just a genius idea. So then as well, the big thing that actually captures my mind about the box art more than anything else is in the bottom left-hand corner. You can see that big M right in the corner, and that really excites me, because the fact of it is, if you really think about it, we've never gotten a true M-rated Batman game. And think about it. I mean, Batman Arkham Knight is M-rated, okay? It has an M rating. If, 17, you have to show your ID. At least I did. Shit, maybe just because I look young, I don't look 18. But anyway, I had to show my ID to get the game. But is it really an M game? I mean, to me, it's quite obvious they were going for a T rating in Batman Arkham Knight. I mean, if you look at it, like, even when Barbara Gordon shoots herself, the Joker gets in front of her, and there's no blood. To me, it was quite obvious from the beginning. They were trying to get a T rating, and the torture scenes likely push that over. That's probably the only reason, because there's nothing wrong, with the Barbara Gordon scene. I didn't think there was anything too bad about it. Of course, the idea of her shooting herself, but it was an hallucination, right? I mean, if you turn on your detective vision, you can say that's a hallucination. It's funny, by the way, that we didn't catch that detective vision trick because the same thing was in Arkham City. That's how you knew that the Joker was Clayface. You can see that he had no bones. But anyway, you could discover that plot twist if you did the detective vision there as well. Anyway, I'm on a tangent. This is about Batman the Telltale Series. The point is, we've never had a true M-rated Batman game. And think about this. Let's say that we are to put the top 5 Batman graphic novels, if we were to put them into a list, and I were to ask you to comprise that list, I can guarantee you, just about guarantee you, that at least 4 out of the 5 of these, if we were to turn them into video games, if we were to turn them into, movies like Batman the Killing Joke, they would be rated M, or they would be rated R, whether it be a movie or a game. That's the honest truth of it, and the most iconic Batman stories have this grittiness to them. They have this ragged edge around them, and that's vital to the Batman character in a modern interpretation, in my personal opinion. So I'm really glad that we're seeing this, and this is the same direction they took Batman and Batman v Superman. Even though the movie was PG-13, this is kind of the Batman that we're getting. But if you played The Wolf Among Us, if you've played The Walking Dead, there's no restraints in this game, okay? Nudity, intense violence, bashing heads in, shooting people, hopefully not as Batman, but you can do all of these things, and these things are all going to happen in the game, and that's really exciting for me, because once again, I mean, to me, the grittiness, the darkness, and the violence, and just the maturity of most of the iconic Batman stories, and it is an integral character element of Batman in a modern kind of theater, whether it be in games or movies or comics. It's just an integral part of the character at this point. When we think Batman, that is what we think of. This isn't 1960, right? So I'm really happy to see that. And having played The Walking Dead, having played The Wolf Among Us, I am nothing short of ecstatic to see what Telltale does with this M rating. And once you get the M rating, once you go for it, you can wear it like a badge of freaking honor, man. You can do anything with an M rating. And again, I'm really excited for that. And even in the description on the GameStop website, it says something along the lines of gratuitous violence or something like this. I mean, it's going to be intense. I mean, not too bad, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be realistic, but it's going to be intense. It's going to be the most mature Batman game we've ever played. Alright, so getting into a little bit more of the details, which I meant to do from the beginning of the video, but anyway, Batman the Telltale Series is going to be premiering in August, early to middle August, before school starts, whatever that means. Because school starts a lot of different times, a lot of different places, but, you know, I interpret that like August 10th. My prediction is like August 9th, I believe, is that second Tuesday in August. So, you know, around that time, something like that is when we're going to be getting the game, somewhere in that range. We're going to be getting our first trailer next week at San Diego Comic-Con. We're also going to have the opportunity, if you're at San Diego Comic-Con, if you're lucky enough, to play, to crowd play Batman the Telltale Series. What does crowd play mean? Well, Greg Miller, who's the host of this Batman show that's also happening with Telltale Games in cooperation with Telltale. Essentially, the idea is that you can, like 200 or 250 people is probably the max, and Greg Miller's on the controls. He's controlling the keyboard or the controller or what have you, and you are watching the game, and you just yell what choice you think that he should make at any particular time. Of course, as many of you know, Telltale games are based on choices. Hopefully you all know this much at least. And that's an interesting idea. You know, I always thought that would be genius, you know, the idea that you crowd play. But at the same point, I don't know if I would want my first playthrough to be like that. And the concern is as well for me is if it's going to be the entire game. I'm hoping that that is not the case. I'm hoping that not the entire game is going to be on display here, because it's at least a full week before the release of episode 1. So at that point, you're getting into spoiler territory. You have 250, 300 excited Batman fans, probably, you know, the average age of which being like 17 years old, and the chances of them retaining the information that they saw at that first episode are minuscule. And the fact that one of those pieces will be tweeted at me one way or another is also very high. So I'm hoping that that's not the case. I'm hoping that, you know, spoilers are not going to come my way for it. And if they just played the first 30 minutes, which was already at display at E3, I have no problem with that. But if it's the full episode, you know, I'm concerned about that. I'm worried about spoilers. So hopefully that's not the case. Holy shit, my audio's playing. Okay, there we go. So that's basically the case with San Diego Comic-Con next week. We're going to get a trailer and crowd play it if you're there. Then in a few weeks, we're going to get the first episode in August. And then a month after that, of course, the first episode is coming digitally, okay? So it'll be coming early to middle August in, digital format. Then you can get the game on disc, which is with the glorious box art that I showed you a little earlier in the video. And essentially, you can buy the game in September. And essentially, if you buy the game September on disc, you will have the first episode preloaded onto the disc, and then the disc otherwise for the subsequent 4 episodes will serve as a season pass of sorts. Essentially, it will grant you access to downloading the next 4 episodes digitally. Okay, so the first episode is concrete in there. The next 4 are digitally. You download them, you know, digitally from the cloud. Okay, so that serves as your season pass. So you have to have internet connection for this to work. And of course, you have to have internet connection to play the game digitally. The first episode is in August. So I imagine that most people are going to opt to just do digitally and not buy the game physically. I, on one hand, will buy it from a collector's perspective. I want to frame both PS4 and Xbox One. I'm going to buy it and frame it. I want to have this kind of frame. I was thinking about doing the same for The Walking Dead because it is one of my, you know, beloved games. But I'm just going to do it for Batman. And frame it. And I thought about doing it for Arkham Knight as well, but I'm actually going to do it this time. So I'm actually going to do it once it comes out. And of course, I have no purpose in actually playing, you know, using my disc, my physical disc for any reason, because I'm going to have the game digitally on Xbox One and PS4 and probably even on PC. So there's no point of me to actually get any use of those discs. So I will just be framing them in a nice little canvas. I'll probably put back there somewhere. Anyway, that's basically the deal. So if you want to wait a month, get it physically, get it on disc. I imagine that many of you that are going to be playing from day one are going to want to do digital because of the fact that at that point the game's only $30. Okay, so you can buy it twice in 2 formats, and it's the cost of a regular game. So that's a benefit to consider. And of course, Telltale games have a lot of replayability, at least the way that I see it. So, you know, that's a great deal overall, but beyond that, the innate great deal of it, you can buy the game on 2 separate consoles, you can buy it physical and digital on different consoles, whatever you want to do, and I think that that's a great option for them to have that physical, but at the same point, do keep in mind that you're going to be playing the first episode a month late if you only are playing physical, if you're only playing on the disc. So as far as I'm aware, that's pretty much all the information that you guys need for Batman the Telltale series. Of course, when the trailer drops next week, expect a reaction, expect a trailer breakdown, expect information, news, and and everything like that. As many of you know, I'm not really a news channel, but I've kind of taken up that mantle for Batman the Telltale series because no one else on YouTube is really doing it, and certainly, you know, I have an interest in the series most certainly. But of course, I look forward to doing videos that you're more likely to see on my channel, and that includes a full playthrough of Batman the Telltale series, speculation and theory videos and stuff like that you can expect. If you're a fan of the Batman Arkham Knight videos, you'll really enjoy, I hope, the Batman the Telltale series videos. So let me know if you enjoy this, and a lot of you guys seem to be enjoying the news videos as well, and I enjoy making them. They're a good bit of fun as well. So hope you guys have enjoyed this one, and once again, be on the lookout for Batman the Telltale series, the trailer, more information coming next week, and then a little less than a month, literally probably 2 or 3 weeks away, we're going to be getting the first episode of Batman the Telltale series. So I'm certainly looking forward to it. I hope that you guys are as well. And if you did, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one.